Morning, it's freezing. The sun is out though, that's a good thing. But we are going to finish painting some lines. Now off camera, I've been a bit naughty. I've been painting, as you can see. I've gone all the way around up to here. So I'm going to continue the green today, which we have got that here. I've gone with the squidgy bottle. The old squidgy bottle, which has been helping a bit. So let's set this up. I'll go get our little stand. Let's get our little stand and we will start painting. Let's just do that. Oops, sorry. And good morning all, back for some more painting. Yay! I've actually done some more off camera. I was just doing a little preamble to myself, but if you are joining now, thank you very much once again. We're going to do some more painting. We're pushing on with the lines. I haven't really been filming this off camera because, let's face it, if people want to go back and watch it, it's going to be on a live. But as you can see, we've come further up, all the way around, and pretty much I've got the orange to here. So right now, I'm going to continue with the green. And I've gone squidgy bottle. I've learnt how to use it, sort of. So let's turn it around. Good morning, everyone. It's bright and fresh on a Melbourne morning. Morning, morning, morning. David, good morning, my man. We've actually, if you are all just joining, we have gone a fair way now. I've actually painted pretty much, let me just turn this. I know there's a fair few people. We have pretty much painted a long way around off camera. So I'm going to continue the green right now. So good morning. If you want to join me, thank you very much. If not, enjoy your day. Let me just set you guys up. There we go. And let's talk. I've actually got an idea for another video, which I'm going to talk through with you guys. A little bit of a deep video. It had me thinking. We'll probably talk about that once we get going. Good morning, Dave. Good morning, Dave. Dave and Dave. So what I'm doing now is I'm actually going to try, or I was last night, this little thing. It is a lot easier. Makes a bit more of a mess, but we can move along really fast. So squeeze her in, let her breathe some paint in. That should fill up nicely. It doesn't fill the whole bottle, but it fills enough so I can actually start using it. Because the way I was doing it is too slow, but I don't want to stop. And there we go, got a little bit of paint in there. Clean the top. Let's just put that lid on so we don't make a mess. And what I was doing last night is just putting a little bit, I hope you can see that. It's going to come in a minute. Just let it tip up. There we go. It's a little bit cold, so the paint's going to be... And all I was doing is just putting a little bit of lines with a bit of a gap. A bit of air in there. It is very cold, so the paint's going to be a little bit thicker today because it is cold. There we go. I'm leaving little gaps as I go along so I can stretch it out. So how many Daves? Yeah, too many Daves. What have we got in there? Yeah, there's too many Daves. Too many Daves don't make great. All right, got my brush. And I was literally just dragging it across. So much easier. It does make a little bit more of a mess, but I can actually spread a lot more paint a lot quicker. And as you can see, we've already pretty much done all that. There's a bit of overhang. I want that overhang so I can paint the top. So we've got about a couple of mil that we'll be seeing when the braid goes on top, which I will be ordering the braid today. So today is braid day. I had a very nice gesture yesterday anonymously. I won't mention them, but someone's actually wanting to donate something to the track. So I've had a lot of help with the track, so thank you. I have knocked it back for now. I've got to think about it because I feel bad, but they really want to. So I'll get back in touch with them and say, hey, are you sure? This is so much quicker. And then a nice little line here. Hope that's coming up. 15. Morning, John D. Thanks for joining me again, guys. I haven't really documented this in a video. I was going to, but it's a lot harder to sort of film this and try and do a live. And I think the live, if people want to go back and see it, well, they can go back and see it. Oh, it's just moving the paint around. It's actually moving really quick. So the paint will be done today. I'll have the track painted today and I'll have the braid ordered today and we are good to go. Just going to quickly take some of the overhang. Spread that love. And here we go. Moving on really quick. Let's do this section quickly. Do the top as well. How's everyone's Sunday night in America? I think it is Sunday, is it? I don't even know what the time is over there. Sunday night. What time is it now? It's 8:30 a.m. on a Monday morning. Let's just get that corner for you so you can see me. You see me rolling. I'm just talking to Mr. Axelbox at the moment because we're working on another video together on, I believe, a 4-lane box. So we'll be getting a 4-laner Axelbox sent my way to do some reviews on, because hopefully I can actually make the Carrera track into a 4-lane beast, which is our plan. So you'll see Axelbox a fair bit on the channel. I'm a big supporter of it. It's just budget friendly. I'm not rich. I don't think everyone is rich, and being so budget friendly, it's just a really good option. And once that comes, I'll do a full demonstration on that. I still use my Axelbox now. I've taken it out of storage. I've had a little bit of issues with it setting it up, I won't lie, because I haven't used it for a while. So I've been talking to the man himself, Alex. Hard working, Travis, too. Yeah, mate, we've got to get this done. I got up nice and early. I've been to the gym. Really good for mental health. Straight to the gym, nice and early. My son's just gone off to school. My wife has gone off to work, and it's time for me to get this done, because my goal is to have this up and running within 2 weeks so I can start using it and inviting people around straight away. And I do need to then move the Scalextric track, which that's going to be a very sad thing to do, because I don't know if I really want to do that yet, but we're going to have to drop a track. So I'm trying to get it ready, John, for a couple of weeks so we can start racing, mate. And yes, John, you are invited. He asked me on the weekend, if I get an invite, yes, you will, John. You've got an invite, my friend. All right, let me get some more paint. 3 rooms, morning, guys. I'm just going to turn these around because we're actually moving really quick now that I'm using the squidgy bottle. We're moving along really quick. It's probably not, again, it's not probably the best way to do it, but it's getting it done. It's getting it done. If you haven't watched, Good Old Boons went live yesterday. I caught the tail end of it, and jump over and have a look. Of course, if you want to learn how to do anything properly, go watch Boons. Don't watch mine. He knows what he's doing. I'm winging it, mate. I'm winging it, boys and girls. I may do another live later on like I normally do on the Mondays, but I just want to get this started, and I think this is very important to get this track up and running. This green, I love this green. I'm so glad I chose it. I think John loves it too, don't you, John? So very morning all. So what's everyone up to today? If you're in America, are you racing today? Is there any good racing on TV? What's going on over there? I know is it late afternoon in America? But this is so much quicker. Look how quick we're going. So I've got to thank a lot of people that have been sending me advice. Trav, use this pen, use that pen, which, you know what, there's a lot easier ways to do it. I guess I just wanted to get into it and get it done with the stuff I had on hand. So no, there's definitely other ways to do this. And I do thank everyone who's taken the time to email me. I've had heaps of support about the track. So many ideas and options. And like I said, I've had 2 people who reach out and say, can I get this for the track so you don't have to, I'll support this for this. And I'm like, oh, wow. So it's been really good. It's a bit of a community track. And we still have to name it, everyone. We still have to name it. Daniel Rooms, morning. Hopefully the camera is okay, legends. I might even film the news today. I did miss it on the weekend, and a lot of good stuff. Actually, Slot Pixels, Spanish. Please put on it in English and go watch him. He was at IMD this weekend. It looks like there's a really good lot of stuff that was released. So jump over to his channel. He'll have a full report in Spanish. Chuck it in English so you can read it, but I'll be getting some news from him. Look at that. We're friggin' soldiering on, legends. This is only going to be an hour live and we're done. Very exciting. The track surface looks good. I've gone over it a couple of times. Track surface turned out great. Yeah, it did. It did. Monday the 22nd of April, 8:40 a.m. in Melbourne, Australia now. Thank you, mate. Now that looks way better. Yeah, BS Slots, the colour. Let me go put this roller door down because it's going to blind you all. So check to see if you can actually see the track. That's better. All right, there we go. That's better. Slocker Hub, morning, mate. Congrats on your 100 subscribers. Everyone jump over. Slocker Hub has 100 subscribers. He only just started the channel. And if you are thinking about starting a channel, the time is now, because your growth will be a lot quicker than when I started, because there's a lot more people interested in what we are doing. So if you want to start a channel, get into it, just like Slot Car Hub. And he's already hit his 100th, which is no mean feat. It's we had a good chat when I was racing with Slot Car Hub on the weekend, and it's not easy running a YouTube channel and trying to get growth out of a YouTube channel. It is tricky. You got to keep up the momentum. I can't speak much on this channel because we've had a lot of hiccups, but you do have to put some hard yards in. So congrats, mate. That's a good achievement. Hundreds, you'll be at 1,000 in no time, and that's the goal. Once you get to 1,000, people, I think, start looking at it seriously, and then you can actually start hopefully making some money out of it. But again, as we all know, there's not really much money in YouTube unless you're one of the big guys. But no, it's just good to see another channel. So well done, mate. You had a really good video, I think it was yesterday, showing you how to flatten your chassis. Not everyone can afford the NSR chassis flattener, which heats up. And let me know if I'm wrong, Slocker Hub, because I know you've got one. I believe it heats up the chassis. It's like a hot bed, and then you put the magnets on it whilst it's hot. The magnets hold it down onto the magnetic bed, and then once it cools, it's obviously flat. But he really gave a good, let's say, backyard way of flattening your plastic chassis. So I won't tell you how he did it. Jump over there and go watch it. And I believe you're going to get a lot more of that kind of stuff over there. So it was really, really good to see. Well done, mate. 100, more to come. And again, we can do some stuff together, my friend. I know you don't want to get in front of the camera yet, but we'll get there. We'll get there. We'll get you in front of the camera. If this bald guy can do it, so can you. What have we got in here? Yes, easier to distinguish yellow and green lanes. 2021. Yes, yes, you are right. And cheers for all the views on the other lives, guys. I don't normally do, as you know, many lives, and all of the last 5, I think, have all gone over 1,000. And again, it doesn't sound like much, but for the lives that quick, it's insane. So thank you. If there's any topics you want to talk about, ask me some questions. Not that I know everything, but it's good to raise a topic. And then if anyone in the chat knows, which they will, more than me, we can sort of jam out the conversation. Also, good old Pete, track fans, if you didn't watch his live yesterday, it was good to see he's back. He had the week off, I think. I don't know what, I can't remember what the reason was, but it was good to see him back on camera. He had everyone involved again. Pete's really, really good with his members too. I've got to learn a thing or two from Pete because he's really good with his members. Like I said, I've got to pick my game up on how I'm not very computer friendly, so he knows the ins and outs on how to. I think they've got a WhatsApp group, which is really good to see. So if you guys think we should do the same, with full credit to Pete, because he's the ideas man. Really good live. He's a good man, Pete. I should actually talk about the Slot Car Festival 2023 when I went. Yes, the Slot Car Festival 2024 is literally around the corner, and you're going to have Raul, Slot Car Dude, I believe MP's going, and of course Pete, track fans. It will be a blast. A lot of people ask me, would I fly there for it? Look, it is a long way for a swap meet. I believe they do it the best. I've never been to really any other one. It was a blast, a lot of people, but it is a long trip for me just to go there and, you know, I guess hopefully meet a lot of people, but unfortunately the cost outweighs sort of the adventure. But it was awesome. If you are local, definitely go. If you're in America or even Europe, definitely go, because it's not that much of a flight. When I went from Austria, it didn't cost me that much money to get there. I think it was only like 300 euros. Yeah, it was 300 euros from memory, just to fly over there. And of course, me and Pete had a very good adventure. We went to Sky Electric, saw the old museum. I made some recommendations when I was there because I won't lie, the old museum wasn't the greatest experience. It was old, but I believe the new one, which Pete has gone to, was incredible. But I spent more time on that bloody freeway than I did anywhere else. Their traffic over there, I thought ours was bad, and ours is bad. The traffic over there was insane. It was so bad. But where they host the Slot Car Festival was incredible. Nice venue, really nice area. We slept in an Airbnb on top of someone's house. It was really cool. It was just such a cool adventure. Got to meet the Magnetic Racing boys. They are awesome. I do miss them. Really good lads. Check out their YouTube channel. Like, they are really good lads. I do miss the boys. Easily one of the best trips I've ever done. All thanks to the slot car world. Hey, thank you guys and girls. Talking girls, let's talk our channel stats. So when I first started, we would have had 0.01% were female. Really minute. And I checked again last night. I'm not a stats man. I don't really know how to use the stats to my advantage. But it looks like we're now about 22% girls and the rest, of course, men. So it's really good. The percentage of viewers are really scattered now. It used to be kind of plus 45. Now it starts from 17 to 18, which is low. There's a low category there. But the average is like high 20s, low 30s. So that is really good. That's bringing the viewing age down, which is what I wanted to see. More than views, I just wanted to see our viewing age group spread out. So it is getting out there. Well done. Well done, everyone. There's actually a little bit of colour on the track. I'm wiping it off, but I'm actually going to leave some of it on there because the track is too clinical. Let me read some messages. G'day, BS. You're pumping out some really good content, mate. Really good content with you and your sister. It's greener. It's greener than your watch I see now. Slot Car Hub, BS, Chris. That's a long flight. MP. Oh, yeah, MP is let's call him the sexiest slot car presenter out there. He's the man. He is the man. It's 90% women, 10% jealous men, including me. He's got a beautiful head of hair, that man. If you're cringing at me doing this, keep cringing. It's pretty bad. But this is working. This is actually doing its thing. I am leaving gaps because if I start dragging the paint all the way, it actually builds up and it will spread out onto the track. So I do little gaps, little air pockets, so I can actually drag it through, go backwards. And with that little bit of overhang, I take that out, move that up to the front. And with a little bit of overhang, strike the top a bit. Look at that. Painting with Travis. We've got the swap meet in 2 weeks. Can't wait for that. I believe it's only for like 6 hours. If I'm getting all this wrong, let me know. But it looks like the opening time is only for like 6 hours, which is surprising. So we have to get there early. I'm going to take a camera and film the whole entire adventure. And if the missus lets me spend out of the old cashola, I'm going to try and buy some goodies whilst I'm there. Bonza Slots going there, so you'll probably see me at his booth. I'm going to be hanging out with Bonza. I believe he's going to have a stand. He always has a stand there, which is good. And hopefully I'll get to see a lot more Melburnians down there. So if you are thinking about going, please go. Slot Car Hub, this is a good opportunity for you to make a video there too, mate. Be really good for your channel to do your walkthrough, which would be really good compared to mine. Having 2 of them would be better than 1. So expect a video from Slot Car Hub too. Expect a video. Are we liking the green? Does it look okay? Thanks so much, Slot Car Hub. We do join. BS, your latest. The MP slide. I can't do it. Yeah, BS, you guys are doing really good stuff. Really good stuff. I love it. Bit of HO in there. Bit of, actually, look, we've got a family of friends out there. Look. Hope you can see that. I've actually put the bowl outside today. There they are. Oh, God. Stop it, guys. Look at him puffing his chest out. Oh, big boy. So we've kept them. Can you actually see that, or was I just showing you the garage? Oh, no, you can see that. Oh, Jesus. So I've left them outside because they're going to run amok and I won't be able to talk to you because they will all come inside and sit in here and chat, and I'll just talk slot cars the whole time. You won't be able to hear me. So let's lay out some more green. No, we're out. Just going to give this a shake. They're all fighting out there. Hey! Let's give the green a shake. I've got the Nationals here in the UK. I've got the Nationals here in the UK in a couple of weeks. Mate, if you can send us some pictures and videos of that, I'd love to put that on the news too to show some support for the racing around the world. That'd be awesome to see. If you can get some footage and email me, it'd be good to put that on the news or even do a video on it, depending on how much footage you can get, just to let everyone know the Nationals are here to see. Or hopefully someone's going there to film it for you. Get in touch with Track Fans, see if you can get there and film it. That'd be awesome to see. Excuse me, guys. Excuse me. So there's not much paint that gets sucked up, but it's just enough to run it into the gap and then spread it. There we go, it's a little bit more. I'm not really sucking that much paint up at a time because I don't want the paint to go crappy jappy. So I've got an idea to run past you. There's only 20 of us in here, so it's not going to... What's your email? It's connected to the channel, mate. If you go to the channel description, you'll see my email on there. It's that slot car guy Oz, O-Z, @gmail.com. But if I can't write in there at the moment, just check out the description of the channel, and my email and a couple of links are there for supporters and stuff. If you can just email whatever you can through, or even a WhatsApp, I can probably get you a WhatsApp connection. It'd be really good to show that off. All right, we're going around the corner. So we're going to finish the green up till probably here, as far as I can go on camera. We're going to start the yellow again, and I'll keep the live going whilst I do the yellow, but once I get up to about here, we'll then stop, because I might have another live later on. Just talking, I'll see if I can get some guests on. And I've got to get some videos done today too. I've got a couple of videos I want to get out today, ready for the week. I think I'm going to go to Outlaw Slots tomorrow. I've got to get my car serviced, and it's a long way from here, and it's closer to Outlaw Slots. So I actually might take this Scale Auto, I might take Bonza's Scale Auto Mitsubishi Evo that he sent me, and a couple of Pioneers, and put them around the big track. And I'll also do some gear changes, because with the Pioneers, and let's go get them. Wait there, guys, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this short commercial break. I've got to try and find these cars now. Oh, we've got the Evo. I've got to try and find where I've put the other guys. So let's just come back. So I'm going to test that. Let's put that there for now. We're going to give that one a little testy. 30 people, thank you guys. Let me see if there's any questions quickly. Good morning, everyone. Thanks, Rims. What are you putting on there? Sweet, I like those turns at the end section. What's the go? I'm now doing track ready for painting as you speak. Frickin' hey. Frickin' hey. Oh, he's painting. We saw the Magpie team. Oh, good. Yes, please. So, please jump over and subscribe to Slot Car Hub, because I am telling you, he's a wealth of knowledge. I don't believe in competitors. He's only going to make it better for my channel, because I'm going to learn some stuff from him. Having another Melburnian is great for options for people to watch. I'm not everyone's cup of tea. So it is really good to have another Australian / Melburnian doing what he does. If you haven't gone over and checked out, he's only got a couple of videos. Remember, a lot of these people work full time, so he is very passionate about the hobby and will pump out the videos how he can. But his intro video showing off his room, I'm jealous. It's a beautiful space. I've never been there, and I hope I'm welcome to come. He said the door will be locked. He didn't say that. I promise he did not say that. But I'm going to go over there and do my own video of him, if he allows me, because his track is incredible. We are so lucky in Melbourne. We have got so many beautiful tracks. And also, I've got to thank Pete from Track Fans last night, because he did make mention there is a bit of an Australian movement at the moment. There really is. There's a lot of buzz around slot cars in Australia. And of course, we all play a part of that. You guys watching, club races, people who are hosting events. Let me just get you on the corner. So Melbourne, Australia, keep it up. We've got so many new content creators coming out. Got some really big events on. And if we all just put a little bit of hard work in it, it's just going to grow. I'd love Australia to be the Mecca. I'd love all the brands to say, hey, let's set up a festival down under, which I have been talking, I won't say with who, but it's really hard to manage. But if you are interested in trying to start I'm going to say a hobby Mecca, not just the slot car Mecca, but a hobby Mecca down under. So like an annual show where we get a lot of hobbies together, slot car drifting, RC drifting, slot car track, just like a hobby event. Let me know, because I'll be interested to help get involved with that, because I think that will put Australia on a very big map when it comes to hobbies in general. Get the buzz going again, because all the hobbies are really well individual, but if you bring them all together, like I'm trying to do with this shed, it will create a big buzz. Also another, I won't say who it is because I'm not allowed to, but another subscriber / friend of the channel, really good friend of the channel. There might be a Gippsland track one day, like a proper centre. I've been helping behind the scenes just with ideas. Of course, it's a massive financial input, but at least the idea has been spoken about, because there's nothing really out my way like this to do. Like my shed and a couple of other home tracks are really the only place you'll be able to go racing. So, yeah, Melbourne might be a little bit of a hotspot soon for the slot car world, which is great. I take no credit for that. All right, I think it's time we start the yellow, because we are at a point where you're going to get me in positions that I'm not comfortable to be on camera. Because right here, we're going downhill. So we start going downhill. I'm going to have to be leaning across. So let's go and start the yellow. I think the yellow's up this end. So let me stand by. Let me put you guys down gently. Don't want to bump your head. You guys okay? Don't bump your head. Let's cover that up. Let's put that down. Yellow. And what's this one? Fireside is orange. I'm going to try and find the yellow now. We'll find that, don't worry. So let's go moving over here. Ooh. And it's time we paint some yellow. 29 people, thank you for watching. Thank you for watching. Oh, we're over here. Come on, Travs. All right, let's get the yellow done. We've got the yellow bottle. Let me just find some yellow paint. And whilst I'm doing that, I'm going to go find some Pioneer cars, because I do want to have them on display whilst I'm talking, because I will give them a very good test. I will give them a good test at, let's just leave that for a tick. Now I can't find the yellow paint. Oh, here it. Stop looking, everyone. I found it. What's the yellow called? The yellow is called, don't know, but we've got it. Let's go. Let's go. Let's get rid of the green. Being water-based as well, I can actually wash these brushes off at the end. Yes, it looks like I'm just dumping paint and running, but we can wash these at the end, which is good. So it's time to, let's just stand you guys up a bit and give you a bit more of a view. There you go, that's a bit better, I think. Let's just move that for a tick whilst we put some paint down. Now, it's going to be tricky here because I will be leaning over a fair bit. But with this squirty bottle, it's making it a lot easier. It's making it a lot easier. Sock it in. It doesn't suck in that. It's actually sucking in probably more air than paint. But it's enough for us to sort of lay down a couple of lines. Yeah, man. Here it comes. The paint is very thick because it's cold. Here we go. There we go. Now we're going. Okay. We've got a little bit of paint there. Let's just put some down in the... Okay, that should be enough for now, because we're going to spread it out. So that's orange. I've got the wrong brush. It's orange, and let me just quickly check the chat. What's going on in the chat? Let me pick you up. 30, thank you for watching, guys. Let's have a quick look in the chat. Track fans, yeah. You can never have too much content. At least we have now a swap meet in 2 states. Yes, we do, which is really good. 3 rooms is really good. Down Under Fest. That's a good name. DG has a massive amount of space where you can... Whereabouts is DG? How thick is that braid compared to the painted lines? So, I've just emailed you. Thank you, Stephen. Appreciate that, mate. Great. The middle has made a big difference. That looks great. Cheers, brother. So the braid is 6.3 mil. So the braid is 6.3 mil, 6.3 mil. I believe it's 1.1 in thickness. Don't hold me to that. I can't honestly remember. But the paint itself won't be an issue. It will sit maybe a fraction high, but the beauty with the braid is I can probably try and manipulate it, but I'm not really putting that much paint down, if I'm honest. It's not as thick as it looks. Well, famous last words. So I'll get into camera shot in a minute. I'm just going to spread this section out without painting on the track. But it looks good. I like these colours. And I'm going to try and run LEDs around the track. I'm not going to make it like a disco, but I want to make it a bit funky monkey. So I don't want it to be the same as everything else, but I do want to theme it that it's going to pop. It's going to pop. But it's hopefully going to turn out really good. This yellow is pretty vibrant. I kind of wish we went a bit darker with the track surface now, I won't lie. I wish it was a little bit darker, because then it would be vibrant as. The colours would be this pretty much glowing, which, you know, that's not the goal. But having a track that's sort of illuminated would look good. And the good thing about the wood track as well, if you don't like the surface, you can sand it back. You know, everything you can change, which that's why I don't mind wood. I think wood has a massive place in the slot car world. Plastic is great. And in a minute, I'm going to get some plastic track out and we'll have a quick talk about that. I'll show you the Scale Auto track versus Carrera versus Scalextric. And I will be doing a video, which is probably controversial, on what I choose and why I choose what I choose. But mine is all personal preference stuff. I think a lot of people ask me why I don't use Scalextric for racing, and it's just a little bit too on the small side. I like to be able to run options. So I want to be able to run 124 and comfortably run 132 at its max. And I do find if I have an NSR car or something a bit quicker than your standard, Scalextric, shoot me, toy brand, it's not going to perform too well. That's my opinion. Getting Facebook notifications, people are commenting on the photo. I probably actually should link that live. Can someone link this live to that photo on Facebook for me? I should have done that, but it's a bit tricky using the phone. All right, we're moving on. We are speeding on. Speeding Gonzalez. David, Eastern Burbs. Oh, you're Eastern Burbs. Excellent. Eastern Burbs. Look at those. Shut up, 21. Shut up. Old man triceps. We call them tucker shop arms. The old tucker shop arms. So as I'm going forward and then dragging it back, it's putting an air seal. It's actually not putting paint in that. So I go forward and then drag it back. It actually puts an air seal. So when I move it, it doesn't, well, it shouldn't spread as much, and I can poke through it and just move the top, and that's how I get that nice cover on top. But it's not the ideal way to do it. Come on, guys, we know. You're watching a budget channel here. Welcome to Budget Trav. So I've got a whiteboard. We'll talk about PTSD quickly. I found once I started losing my marbles, I couldn't really focus on one task. So I've got 2 whiteboards, and this is a really good example of somebody who's trying to be organised who's not. 2 whiteboards, because I forgot I had one. And now I'm going to try and run a whiteboard where I have tasks to do during the day that I can get done. So I'm actually achieving something, because right now I'll be very nervous, which I am, because I'm not getting another review out. I'm not getting, I'm not doing a slot car review or showing you guys some new stuff or showing you some news, but this is important. So that's why, let me put the brakes on. That's why I'm just getting into it and getting it done. There's some caster wheels. There it is. This has actually got some brakes on there. Brakes on. Done. So I don't push it as hard as I can, and there we go. And it does look messy at the moment, but I'm hoping once we put the braid down, it cleans up a lot of it, but I don't really care if it's too messy. It's going to get dirty with us racing on it. So I have decided I'm going to run 3 power supplies just for the look. It's probably overkill. But the ones that I'm looking at are detachable, so I can actually unplug them and then take one of them to a race meet so I can use my tyre truer. I've got a fair few toys that I can take for others to use that I've been lucky enough to be sent. So we've got the magnetic downforce tested by SRC. I can set that up so people can just test it, see what their magnetic force is of their motor. So yeah, I might be just taking a power supply on the road with me so I can actually get some of those toys out that others can enjoy. Because, there we go, and that's that part done. So I'm going to run a video past you guys, and we're going to get a bit deep for a second because I've been thinking about it over the last couple of days, and now that I'm mentally in a better spot than I was probably 2 months ago, I have an idea for a video. It is about my old job, but I do have a lot of friends that are suffering in the job and who are in the position I was in, where they were leaving the job or trying to get help whilst not wanting to leave. And unfortunately, they are going through the same headaches that I went through without having any support. So I might be doing a video that blows the top off, and I won't mention the name of the police force, blows the top off of how it is behind the scenes and what treatment I had from them and what these members are going through when they're trying to get help to go back to work. You're just a number. So I think I need to do this with the small platform I've got, because we've got too many police members, and we've got Anzac Day coming up, so I'm very big on Anzac as well. We've got too many police members and people in frontline that take their own lives because they just don't have the support. And I won't lie, and please, if you are struggling, get help. But yeah, we've all been to that dark spot. Well, I was in that dark spot, and unfortunately I didn't have the support. So I'm considering doing a video, sort of bringing them undone a bit, giving them something to think about, because something like that probably will go viral because it is a political push, but it's also hopefully help someone, because I know members at the moment, I talk to them all the time, and they are struggling and they're getting no support internally. So if you are struggling though, speak to someone. That's all I can say. Don't hold it in. Don't hold it in. As men, we don't talk about our stuff. As men, we think it's going to be okay. The next day it is, but 20 days later it's not. You never get rid of it unless you share it with your brothers. Share a bit of that load as we spread some yellow. How's it looking down that way? Geez, this is really hard work leaning over the track though. Should have done this when I was in my 30s. Let me have a quick review. My track is always... I'm just going to quickly paint this last spot, and I'm going to have a stop. We'll have a look at some of the comments, and I'll answer some stuff. Anyone want to know anything or tell us anything we can share? I can start up the conversation. Apologies, I can't have any guests on because we're not running StreamYard. We are running YouTube Live. It's just easy for me to hit live, but I will promise I'll be back on StreamYard so we can bring people on, because I love having guests. I think having people on showing off their stuff, suppliers, hobbyists, it's good. All right, I'll bring you guys up here in a tick. But we are soldiering on. And I get a lot of emails about what else do I collect. So before going to Austria, probably not a bad little thing to talk about. Before going to Austria, I collected video games for a very long time. I would have started when I was 18. And I mean, retro video games. I was a hunter. So I hunted for, Nintendo, and I had a collection, which I did put a video up before I flew out of, that was half of my collection that I just sold to a collector in Adelaide for a bargain price. So I used to collect video games, boxed. I love everything being in its box. But we did sell those, but I still collect die-cast cars. If I can find some, I've got probably 15,000 still left. I think it's about 15,000. I don't know. I've sold a fair few lately. I'm actually selling off my collection to help fund the shed because I do want to get this. This is it, I think. But I'm keeping all my Porsche stuff. I'm a huge Porsche fan, if you don't already know that. If you ask me if I'm Ford or Holden, I've driven, which we'll talk about what cars I've owned, because I've had some pretty cool cars in Australia that I think they were cool. Toyota Camry? No, I'm joking. I didn't have a Toyota Camry. All right, let me just have a quick look at the messages. Let me just remove Axel Box. I'm chatting to him in the background. Ian needs to come to my track. Man, you're so good with the paint, back and forth. Gorgeous. Shut up, Ian. Shut up. Is this actually live? Yes, it is, Ian. It's live. Let me have a quick read. DJs in Victoria, multicolour LED. Yes. No. So if I'm going to do the LED, it's going to be. I'll try and keep it on brilliant white, but then we will go to a multicolour if need be because it's adjustable colour. Front. From that camera angle, the lane colours pop really well. Thanks, Dave. I think they do, man. I think they look good. Same here. Cool. What part of Victoria? Eastern Burbs. I've already read that. I'm up in Gippsland. Yeah, he is. Is he actually live? No, I'm not. This is just a recording. They look good. Yes, you are live. And man, you also, I've read that already. Looks like my track is always open for your reviews until you're up and running. David, stop it. Scalatry bog stock is still fast and modified Scalatry is good fun. Don't always work out cheap. No, you're right. So Slot Car 2021, on the weekend, we raced BTCC, so Scalatry out of the box. What about the police unicorns? Unicorns? Two secs, unions. Oh, unions, sorry. You should always try to be a member of a union. The green is real nice. Do you race Hardbody or Lexan? I've raced Hardbody and I've raced Lexan. What's my preference? I don't really have a preference. I think if it's a slot car and we're racing it, good. Like when I went to, and I'll talk about the union in a sec, because I did have a union, but that didn't work out too well. Hence why, I'll talk about that in a tick, about my adventure with good old Victoria Police and their governing agencies that didn't really help me. So stand by. Let me get my thoughts back again. What was the question? Sorry, I've just gone a bit. I just forgot what I was saying. We'll talk about the police stuff in a minute, because that's going to throw me off track. Because it's still a sore spot with me, because I'm still disappointed that I actually should be out there, still out there serving, and helping the community, which I love doing. But we'll talk about that shortly. Lexans, no. So I like to race anything as long as it's a slot car. I'm happy, because I know I get a lot of stick about HO, and the boys on the weekend don't like HO. You're going to like HO, though, because they have a track. It's going to be built soon. I think if it's a slot car, you're doing a good thing, because it's still racing. One of the videos that's probably most controversial when it comes to car-wise was when I did the wing test, which is my very first time doing that. And if I'm honest, prior to pulling the trigger, I've watched a heap of those. There's a really big video on YouTube of these wing cars. It's going, and I thought to myself, come on, you're just pulling the trigger, which I shouldn't think that, because I know it's not that. It's the same as HO. A lot of people think it's just a magnet with a trigger. When I drove that wing car, I'm in love. I'd love to race that, because the skill involved to find your braking spot, and it's just a millimetre reaction. If the person brakes just before you and then puts the trigger down and the power down, you're behind. And it really tested my eyes. It tested my reaction. It put me in the zone. I actually learned how to get in the zone really quick, because I guess it's like Formula Ones. You just can't blink. Lance Stroll on the weekend. Imagine if you did watch his, excuse me. So I think if you're racing anything, it's good. Back to Slot Car 21. Yes, we raced Scalatry out of the box on the weekend. No, I didn't have a BTCC. I like to collect oldest. I love the retro vintage Scalextric times, but the cars that was one of the funnest races I had on the weekend. They were tricky. You know, you can upset them easy. You knew that they were a Scalextric car because, yes, they did perform, but they had limits. You couldn't really push them past that limit, but boy, it was a lot of fun. I'm all for out of the box. I think I just had some comments today, about my new video where I didn't have tyres on the Revos, and I'll just explain, and I'll check the magpies are inside. Yes. They're hungry. There's no more food in the bowl. I actually forgot what I was saying now. See, you threw me off. What was I saying? I'm starstruck because Ian's in the room. We love you, Ian. I've actually got to think now what I was saying because I actually forgot. The joys of being old. I was going to move you guys around here for a tick. Let me move you around here. I've had enough trouble watching 132HO. I've got no chance. Once I think of what I was talking about. So let's have a quick look at the comments. Do you race hard bodies? I thought your orange lane was yellow, but now I see the real yellow. Yeah. I just started. Good. SC21, that's good. Only seen that body with only seen hard body with Travis collection. With Travis, I don't know what does that mean. I have enough trouble watching. So I've got in my collection. I've got Wumpies. I've got GTCs. I've got 2 wing cars. I've got a drag car in my collection, and then of course all hard bodies. But no, I don't think I'll get back into those classes because it does happen in Melbourne. But if I want to race regularly, I think I've got to stay with the hard body because the boys, the Melbourne clubs do race hard bodies. But that was good. There is an AFX meet coming up soon too, which I'm going to try and get to. They're going to have a social event, and I've really got to try and get to that because that's something I want to help push as well. And I think we're missing out on 143. The Journeyman, we have ourselves in. Should I do like a members dance? No members dance? The Journeyman, thank you so much, man. Thanks for joining. That directly helps the channel. So, dude, thank you so much, man. Why are people kept becoming members whilst they're watching paint dry? I don't understand. What's wrong with my other videos? Thank you, man. Welcome. Please pull up a chair. Tell us your story. Thank you so much, brother. Thank you. That made my day. So you throw me off again. What were we talking about? Thank you so much, man. I really appreciate that. I will try and get as many videos out to you guys. If you're not a member, and that's just spurred me on to say that, if you're not a member, I do try and release member-only videos as regularly as I can. I am trying to start up a monthly chat. We've got a couple of boys that have said yes. It's becoming to the end of the month, so we'll be setting up a Zoom chat on a Sunday. I'll probably send that out as a members community post only so they know the date and time. And if they can make it, excellent. If not, we will try and adjust the time because I do want everyone there. What's going to happen with the member chat once a month? And if it gets popular, we'll ramp it up because I actually like talking to people. The member chat is literally, it's a mental health massage. I'm not a professional. I'm not going to talk about how to solve your problems. What it's doing, though, it's giving us an avenue in our own little space. Talk slot cars, jam out the week, how you going. I don't want to go too deep into people's problems because we've got to keep it, I guess, slot car friendly. But it is a good chance just to, I guess, it's away from the tube. It's not live. It's us. I mean, I actually care. I want to listen to some people, but just talk privately about slot cars, racing. I guess anything. Just jam it out. Probably go for an hour. The first couple are going to be a test run to see how we go, but my goal is to get as much member content out first I can. Unfortunately, this track has really taken away a lot of my time to post other stuff, but that's why I'm going live to share it with everyone. I do try and give the guys a quick post before just to show what I'm doing or if there's something I can do extra, just so they get that benefit of paying money, because you're actually paying money now, which I still don't fathom that. So thank you so much. I appreciate it. But And if I am dropping the ball, send me a message. Say, Trav, we want this, this, or this, and I'll do my best to make it worth your time, because you're investing in me. You're investing in the channel, so thank you. Which means you love the hobby just as much as I do. You guys are legends. Everyone's, seriously. I don't know what to say. You've thrown me again. Don't get me emotional. What were we talking about? But welcome, journeyman. Pull up a chair. Let me know what you want to know, want to see, want to do. Tell us something about yourself. What you said. Let's have a quick look at the journeyman. Slot Bogan, baby. Slot Bogan, baby. Don't forget to... thank you, Chris. I appreciate that, mate. Dave Volk, what was that message, Dave Volk? You've moved it. Our Scalatry beaches are not quite out of the box. It's not, but it's not where you're spending $100 to get a car going. So a lot of work with MGK toes, body float. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about body float, because if I'm honest, I used to cut the bodies up pretty badly. So on a plastic, I'm going to say the word, I'm probably going to get shut down, toy brand, I like to make sure the body isn't touching the chassis. So whether that's your trimming, whether that's your loosening, whatever it may be, because you'll find a lot of today's cars that are the hobby grade allow for body flex, which is what you want with a slot car. You want it independent from the body itself. Obviously not loose enough that it falls off, because then your driver's going to get very cold. And I'm not a professional. I'm just speaking on what I've learned and what I know. And if you know anything better, tell me. I want your secrets. Scott, what's with these messages being removed? Are you guys saying naughty stuff? You guys being naughty? So yeah, there's a lot of stuff that you can do that is cheap. I don't have a Swagger tires. Actually, I probably should reach out to some of these tire brands to start maybe showing some reviews on them, but I don't really get into that, because if I start showing you how to upgrade one car, it is the same base rule pretty much across the board. Some cars you can take further with the upgrades and the adjustments, but some are just going to be the same. So that's why I don't do upgrade videos all the time, which I will do some, because I'm not Ian Douglas, which is, let's face it, I think he's going to take MP for the running of maybe the best looking slot car person out there, because he has a channel and he's quick. People like that really could show you how to set up a car, and they will get into the finer details of, yes, every car is the same, but no, it's not. I've learned a couple of tricks over the time that has changed some of my toy cars, and I'll give you a quick example. One thing everyone should do with Carrera, at least, is as soon as you get a Carrera car and you're going to go racing with it, if you're allowed to, glue the motor in place so it doesn't move. If you're not allowed to, don't do that. The main thing I would be doing, though, is sanding the shafts. Sounds weird, but of course they're spinning. They're sometimes going through a sleeve, and you want them to be as smooth as they can. So I always take out my Carrera axles, get a real fine bit of paper. If you've got a drill, you can, but I leave the wheels on. This is stuff that you can do just before the race. And I did this at the Carrera Fun Day at Show Us Your Slots. I was going too slow in some of the 20-minute heats, so I had to do some adjustments. Take it out the axle, pretty much get some sandpaper, and just get your fingers and spin that axle. Give that a nice sand the whole way along as well. Give it a nice, real fine sanding. Put it back in, and it will spin. It will spin freely. That's the point. You don't want any friction. Friction's bad, man. And what was the other thing I did? Of course, running in your motors, and that is basically as if your track hasn't got one set up, get one set up. Get a piece of Scalextric or Carrera track. Have some power go into it constantly, and if you've got the time, I've got a break-in bed. Luckily enough, I had one sent to me, which I should do with all my cars. And now that I'm racing regularly, I've actually got to take my cars and do that. Put it on. Put your car on this piece of track. Pop up the back wheels. Take the body off and let it run for half an hour. Just let it run. Let that motor run freely. Let it run, and that will break your motor in better than it would be out of the box. The running bench will actually do intervals. It will spike the motor, which is why I like these tools. It spikes the motor, and I've done a video, and I'll probably post it in this live. It spikes the motor, so it goes from a hot lap to braking, back to a hot lap, back to braking, constant speed, and that would happen over about 40 minutes, and that will break your motor in. A trick I used to do with RC cars, because I used to race, and they actually had the titles on this weekend, and I wish I could go watch it, in Boronia, which is in Melbourne, Australia. I raced in the 2006, I think. I've got the trophy somewhere. I didn't do well. A marshal literally wore my car as a shoe, and it put me out, and I was doing really well. I was only in the novice. It was called the 540 novice back then, because your motor was a 540 can. And I was doing really well, and the marshal just stepped out to marshal, and he literally wore my R34 Skyline shell as a shoe, and that ruined my race. But what I did was, with that motor, it's a very basic can, I put it in, probably shouldn't put it in water, you can put it in break-in oil, but if you're struggling, you can put it in water, but of course you don't want any rust effect. And you break it in water, so you negative, positive on the motor, drop it in some fluid. Again, I'd say something that's meant for motors, not, it's not going to rust your motor, and break it in. And you'll see all the muck and grime come out. It gets more RPM, which could be classed as cheating, but it's not, because it's still an RPM motor that you've now broken in, which has freed it up. It's just freeing that motor up. Let it run free. And a lot of those tricks I've brought across to to slot cars, because it's the same. They're the same motors. And now we're going brushless. Let's talk brushless. Now we're going brushless. I say about bloody time. There's a lot of talk about costs. Of course there is. It's always going to be expensive at the start. It will come down. There is cheaper options. I know Show Us Your Slots, and I keep mentioning him, but sorry, but he shows a lot of support, and he provides a lot of information that helps me understand more, so I can actually let you guys know. They are getting cheaper. At the moment, the price for a brushless motor is the same, if I get this wrong right now, because it might have changed, but if you want a 30K motor or a 20K motor, they're the same price at the moment. So there will be a price drop, because I have to categorize them, but the potential is there. And if you go racing now in RC, it'd be very weird, unless it's a vintage race, to see somebody using a standard can. A wound motor. So it's coming. Will it replace our motors? No way. It's just an option. It's just an option. It's just an option, man. I think I've avoided a question from before. Someone must have asked a question and I was blabbering on and I forgot what I was talking about. So I'm going to read the comments in a minute. Let's remove the scale autos. So I'm going to quickly paint to this corner. 42 people. What are you all doing? Thank you so much. We have a new member as well. Cheers, mate. I think you're member number 22 now. Thanks, mate. Seriously. And again, if I'm dropping the game, my email's in there. I will try and give you guys some community posts as well. Any deliveries I get, anything that I find interesting, I try and post so you guys see it first. Last night I had a video that went pear-shaped. The video that dropped this morning actually uploaded only for 3 minutes. Something's going on with my computer. I think I'm starting to run out of, and this is a thing, I think, RAM and space. So my computer's only rendering a certain amount of my videos now, which I don't know that until it uploads it. And I uploaded that video about 12 times, and at the end, I only got 0.1 of a second out of it. So I had to transfer it onto my phone and then upload it from my phone, which is why it wasn't, when the members watched it, it was only 3 minutes. When everyone else watched it, it was the full video. So apologies on that. But I do try and give the members first look about a day before, and then I change it to everyone, because they should. They should see it all first. So they should. And I'm trying to figure out merch. I do have, and this is why I don't promote, I've got a Shopify, and I'm not asking people to buy anything because I don't really know how it works properly yet, but I am trying to get everything locally so I can actually start rewarding people. So if I do start selling merch and there's profits there, I can actually start giving back as well. At the moment, Shopify is a bad investment for me. It's cost me way too much money to set up, and it's not right. It will work, so please, if you want to support the channel, we have a Shopify, which is linked in the description, but it's not the way I want to go. I want to try and keep it local. So, and then I can ship that out myself, sign stuff, which sounds freaking weird because I've been asked for that. I don't even get asked to sign stuff on my OnlyFans. I don't have OnlyFans. That's like I got OnlyFans. Let's read some comments. Whoop. We'll have to make some more videos and upload. Thanks, P and W Dad. I appreciate it, mate. Get those videos out while the magpies attack me. Brushless isn't expensive. That's true. I always use distilled water. There we go. Journeyman, distilled water. Then a good spray out with electronic conductor. That is correct. You can actually run it in electronic conductor as well. It's just got to be low viscous. We're in Baronia. So let me answer that. That was for the RC track. The Baronia RC track is literally at the main junction. You'll know where the hobby shop is. If you know where, and that's called, I can't remember what that hobby shop's called. It's literally behind that. Hey, Slockar Dojo. G'day, how's Slockar Dojo? Blue Valley Racing, g'day. For scratching, often needed too. That's correct. Cutting the brushes too much. The amateur. Yes. See, the journeyman, you might know. We might have to talk offline because you're knowing a lot more about this stuff than me, which isn't hard. On Facebook. Nice, been racing years. Anything else? Okay, cool. Get rid of Shopify. Do what Pete did. I don't know what Pete did. What did Pete do? I know, but I think Pete's cost about £1,200 to set up, which I wouldn't make that in a year. You've got to be careful. If the channel was bigger, and this is also, this is what you've got to think about too. If you're setting up a store, it actually costs, Shopify does cost, and so does everything else. But I believe he paid about £1,200 to set something up. And let me tell you, YouTube doesn't pay that much a year anyway. So I don't know. Yeah, I can't fathom that. I want to make it beneficial for everyone, but also cost effective. And if I can, support local industries here, because I want t-shirts out there. But not just of my logo. Some of the designs that I'm trying to get out there, I think they're pretty cool t-shirts. Porsche, JDM, without using proper branding, because you can't. But yeah, no, I want to get my stuff out there and not just my logo, stuff, really cool stuff. I will let you all on a bit of a insight. I am trying to get stuck into making, and let me know if this is interest of you guys. I did make a slot car, of course, with Bauer. I did stop promoting that because I did have issues with it. Not the car itself, but I'll do a video in the future. It's just, I got the raw end of the deal with that, which it probably cost me more money than it was worth doing. So I didn't want to sell them anymore because otherwise the price would have to be too high. So I do still have some left, and the ones that did buy it got a bargain because on eBay, one of mine sold over in Europe, I think for €500. But I want to get back into that. But what I want to do is, I'm looking at getting into a local printer, which I won't mention who they are. I've had a couple of options, trying to get some 3D, really good quality 3D printed all resin cars. I mean, really good quality. And then teaming up with, if I've got to supply it, pretty much like what MJK Tyres have done. They've now made their own, you don't want to look at me, look at that. MJK Tyres have now done their own ready-to-run car, which I think is incredible. But I want to stick, I only want to do, 10 to 20 run now and then, but I want to make sure it's a car that you guys like. It performs out of the box and it comes done. If I've got to paint them up and do some hard yards to get them to a point, that's what I'm going to do. But I'm going to try and start releasing my own line of cars soon. I'm just working on a plan on that. So, and they're going to be cars that I really want to see in the slot car world that we might already have them, but I want to put my own spin on them. So, yeah, let me know if that's interesting, because I will try and get that project up and running. And again, all that stuff helps the channel. You got to think outside the square when you're running a YouTube channel, because you don't want to take money from people. And if you do, you want to give them something back. And just taking money isn't good. That's not what we're here for. We want to promote the hobby, but yet we want to give back as well. And if I can promote the hobby and help local, Australia and or local, that's what I'm going to try and do, whilst providing the rest of the world a good quality product. Yeah. Amen. All right, let's just finish this section here, because we're pretty much at a spot where you don't want to see me bend over in weird ways on the track. But we've made a big dent. We've made a really big dent. So that's done. That's done. Just going to quickly take you guys for a walk around and have a quick check. Let's flip that around. You have to cover time and cost. Yeah, that's the thing. And whilst we have a look, so there's the colours. Of course, I might have to go over the top of these again, just so we get that beautiful 2mm cover, because when we put the braid down, which is here, and we'll talk about that in a tick, you're actually not going to get too much of the colour. So you're only getting that little bit of a line. Actually, that looks good though. So I might have to actually do these again, just to sorry about the shutter, I'm trying to move it so you guys can see. So it's going to be hard up against that. That sits really good. That sits really good. I'm happy with that. That actually sits flush. Look at that. Oh, yes. Once you sort of settle that down, yeah, that's going to be nice. Yes, looks good. So I won't put on the green because that's still wet. So there's our lines. If you want me to keep going, I will, but you're going to watch me bend over here. It's going to look a bit weird. So maybe, do we keep going? Let me know in the chat. Do we keep going, or do we call it a day and I'll just do this off camera? Because we are making some real ground here. There's a couple of high spots that I'm worried about. You can see some paint is still, yes, there's going to be paint on the track, but it wipes off. It's water paint. So I have to go around with a rag at the end. But as you can see, you don't really need much paint at all on the... Thanks, Dojo. So, 48 in the room. Thank you so much, legends. We are just finished painting a lot of the track. We've actually got a lot done. We're pushing through this project together, and without with your watching and helping and keeping me company, it wouldn't happen. So, the next part now is for me to awkwardly jump up on here and start painting those last sections, and that's it. That's the painting done. Today I'm going to order some braid from Mr. Slot Car, Mr. Tracks. Hopefully I can either go pick that up or get delivered. And then the next video, well, the next time we go proper live, I guess, you might see me live. I'm not going anywhere yet, but looks awesome and a fast flow. Yeah, it does. Well, I've got a car in there. I actually just wish we can grab a controller and just go, damn it. But we're getting there. We're getting there. So it actually looks good. And if we get around the corner, let's look at now it is 124, but we are going to have some issues. I just want to quickly show you. It is 124, but we will have some, you can see there, we're almost touching the edge. So I've got some ideas. I can either extend some of the corners, because this is where you are going to go quite hard, because it's not quite, really if you want to do 124, you want about a 114 millimeter gap between the lanes. And I think we're running a 10, no, I won't be getting it today. I'll be ordering it today, knackers. I'll be picking it up tomorrow if I can. What was I saying? Slockard, you got me again. So we probably, it would have been nice for it to be a bit longer. I can probably add an extension on this, but I think I won't. I'm just going to leave it, because I can't say much, but there is another design coming for the table, not for my table, but in general, that will help with space. That's all I'm going to say. It's going to help with space. So let's have a look at the track for those that haven't seen it before. We'll be doing a flicker switch that way and that way. So we will be going, and we'll be starting here, going that way. Nice little, very slight banked front corner. The inside is where you're going to probably see most of the banking. A little bit of a dip there. Then you're going to start traveling uphill into a very fast left. That's going to be pretty much flat. Slowing it down into this beautiful corner, which is slightly banked as well. You can tell by these striker marks here. These striker marks have given the track a little bit of flex to be moved. Then we're going down this back straight, a bit of a hump. You can see here it's not flat. We are going up and over a crest. This is a part that I might be working on myself. Now, it all comes down to testing a car. Look at that. That is a decent shallow into another rise. If this here becomes an issue, I've got a plan. I'll unscrew these screws down the bottom and we'll tilt this on an angle, which will then bring this just a little bit straighter if this becomes an issue. And what I mean by that is, we don't want the outside lane. This way is going to be okay. I think that won't be a launch, but we'll finish this lap first and we'll talk about that. Around the next corner, and then we shoot down this beautiful, look at that. That's going to look good on some shorts. Down we go, sweeping down into the corner. It's going to be a Marshall's headache, but we'll live with that. And then over the finish line. If we go the other way, which we will be, and it's going to be a very quick track. Taken off into this beautiful long, and it's more of a bank, because you can see, let's look on the inside, a lot of striker marks on the inside. Chick, 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 chick. You can see those striker marks. That's given it a nice little bank. Nothing too severe. This might be a hell spot, but it's going to be quick to Marshall, so I don't think we're going to have an issue. And then we're going to shoot up that hill. Look at that. Up that hill. Coming the other way now, so we've got a nice little kink turn right here. So you go into a right, then into the left, completely different track now. If we look back down this way, we do have that gully, and you can see that right now, how it dips right here. My concern is that we may get a launch. If we do get a launch from the orange, or a very big upsettling, is that the usual Monday closing on mobile raceways? John D, I believe most tracks are closed on Mondays, including Outlaw Slots. I think Mondays is their Sundays. Write that down, it's a good bumper sticker. So if this becomes an issue, that's my quick fix right there. Unscrew 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2, 4, 5, sorry, and we just tilt it, which will raise this up enough to bring us flat. So that's what's going to, that's going to be the testing, and you guys will see all that. The members will see the first track first. I'm going to give them a full video of testing the cars. They will get it first because they deserve it. They're definitely putting their hard-earned money into the channel, so they want to see this thing happen. And then I think the main next thing is getting these painted up, which are our driver's bays. I have to start wiring all these suckers up, painting them. But yeah, I think braid is next. We'll order that today. It'll come in the next couple of days if I can't go pick it up. And then we can start doing the hard stuff, the braiding. Let's talk about that quickly. How great does the track look? Thanks so much, Dave, mate. I'm seriously lucky, mate. Like I said, a mate of mine came to the shed on the weekend, including another mate, which is Dave, and he came and saw it. But a mate of mine who doesn't do slot cars and goes, "What the hell is this?" He goes, "That's epic." I said, I told him the story, and he's just, "What?" So we're gonna have one connection spot only right here. That is it. Braid's gonna drop down here. We're gonna connect everything, which is gonna be not a hassle, but we're gonna have to make sure the braid is long enough either side or run them both ways, but definitely not. We have to split them. So although the track is 20 meters of racing length, I'll probably order 125. So we've got a long overhang for all lanes. Connect all the hardware underneath. Each driver hopefully will have a power supply each to adjust their voltage. Not every car wants to run on 12 or 9. Of course, voltage will be the same across. That's cheating if it's not. Everyone's gonna have their own power supply. We're gonna have some nice sheeting here, a drop-down curtain, and then I'm going to try and fill all these in with channel stickers. So if you have a channel, if you want to send me some stickers, if you have a business, we're going to make a proper advertising wall because I want people who see this track to see other channels and everything else. So if you do have a channel, email me, please send me a sticker so we can put it somewhere on the track to help those channels as well. So we're going to run the braid, the full 20 meters times 2 for each lane, and finish back up here. We're gonna have no joints because 20 meter lengths with 3 power supplies, we should not have a problem. We will volt check it as we go along. Then the big job is putting the TV in, which we have found that spot, which is at the back here. Of course, all drivers will be facing forward. You don't want to be facing here, looking at the TV whilst you're trying to take that corner. So we will have a nice makeshift post, with a TV. I'm going to make that look like a billboard. So when it's not on, it's going to have my logo, someone else's logo. I'll try and do the news in front of it so it looks interesting with a car on it. Maybe when I'm doing the news, I'll just have a car running around on ghost mode. Who knows? We're going to have fun with this. So there you go. I might now jump off, get something to eat, get myself a cup of joe or coffee, and get my day started and try and get some videos out because we've got a lot to do. We've got a lot to do. Before I do that though, let's go look at my Carrera track because I want to show you the axle box because we do need to work on this very soon because this isn't its final form. Now chat, let me know, should we go 4-lane or should we just stay 2-lane? Because this is staying digital with an axle box, it becomes digital and analog. I love you, Axel, look at that, love it, it's so good. Budget friendly. I'm going to mention the other brands. We've got Omni, we've got TechSlot. If I've missed anyone else, please let me know. But I went with this one because it was budget friendly and I like to try and give people an entry level. I would love to test those other ones, but I've never had a review copy of those. And if I'm honest, I can't really afford them. But do we stay 2-lane? Stay 2-lane with 6-car racing. Thanks for the live. Looking forward to the next video upload. Cheers, John. Thanks for watching, mate. Yes, so maybe we will stay 2 lanes with full borders. 2 lanes, full borders, but this is too small. And that might sound stupid. This is too small though. We need more 415s, which are up here. Well, here, sorry, we've got some 415s here because I want to make this again like a wood routed track flow. If you watch the channel over the years, Every time I try and design a track in plastic, I want it to flow like wood. This doesn't really flow like wood. So even if the track has to go under itself to create more space, because this is where the wood routed track is going to live, over there. And of course, we're still fixing everything. It's a mess over here. That's going to be the drag strip. We are looking at getting the mezzanine done, which that's another project, but I have to get that done, which we're going to drag the mezzanine out to here. I'm going to try and push the roof up on this section, which is 3 meters, up another meter, and then bring the mezzanine out and have a proper room upstairs. And then down here, it can be the drag strip, display, whatever. And then we've got a lot of my cars on display. We did lose a lot in transit. A lot of Carrera stuff on display, Ninko, some older stuff, but my collection isn't that big, if I'm honest. And Epic Track, all in one area. Yeah, well, that's the goal, mate. I won't lie to you. This almost turned into an RC spot because I do love RC. So this almost turned into an RC spot. I will be using this track for Mini Z 124 scale. I do love my RCs. So this I will utilize as a drift track as well for RC, but it is most definitely a slot car track. We do have to build the scale auto. Massive job. Seriously, I'm very nervous to take that on because it's going to be very financial because we're going to make tables for that. That is 6 lanes. Oh, I said I was going to show you some track. So let's have a quick look. Let's get out the scale auto. Let me go get a Carrera and let's get a scale electric. And let me just quickly, I'm going to do a video on this today. This is the video I'm making. Let's get a Carrera. Yeah. And we'll get a Scaly. We'll have a quick look at it, but we will do a video on this today because people want to know options. I don't have Polycar. I've reached out for Polycar, but I don't have any, so apologies. And let's just grab this. There we go. All right, so let's have a quick look at this together because massive differences in track, and I'm very impressed. I'm very impressed with Scale Auto. And I'll give you my reasons why and what I use. So let's just tilt this down. So let's look at our quickly, and I'm going to do a proper video. This is today's video. We'll have a look at it. As you can see, we've got a little bit of black shine. Best thing about the Carrera I love is the width, the guide slot, stainless steel. For me in the shed, this is a must. Without stainless steel, I'm going to have a lot of issues. Yet being plastic, we do have flex with the heat and cold in here. But the width itself without borders is pretty damn big. Now let me go quickly grab a 132. I don't have a 124 on hand, or do I? I don't know. Let's chuck that on there. I do have a 124. Stand by. There's a little treat you guys are getting, eh? A little bit of a quick look-see. Quick look-ski. If I can find what I'm looking for. Just to show you the comparison of why I make my decisions. And again, this is my decisions. Not everyone will agree. Some people can't put bigger track in their space. Hence why we'll talk about scale trick in a tick. Yeah, I really want to try it. Polycar is shaping up to be the perfect plastic. I really want to try it. I have tried it. The only thing I don't, this is for me, I don't have it. The only thing I don't like about the Polycar is still the width. It still, to me, looks a bit shorter in width than the rest. But I've only used it in America, but I really want to get my hands on it. So I've got to get the distributor on board because it's hard to buy here. So as you can see, without, and that's a Carrera 124, they fit nicely side by side. Yes, the inside's a little bit touch and go, but with the borders, Carrera can handle any size when it comes to the slot car world, from 124 up. Really cool. The texture, I did talk to Carrera about it. I would prefer to see a grey track. I think black's had its day. The texture could do with a bit of work. If you don't look after this surface, it will rubber in, but if you don't look after this surface, it will become very slippery. That's the only thing I don't like about Carrera is I think the texture's a bit off. Just a bit off, but that's my choice because I've got the room. Grey would be great. I think so too. I think grey will be great as well. But really good bit of track. And of course, I'm not paid by them, or they do sponsor the channel by sending stuff. I'm not sponsored by anyone, but that is why I choose that. Scalatric, perfect for a small space. No issues with Scalatric at all. I am loving the advanced digital flick of a switch. It's got its own digital and analog. The system is really good. I like the controllers. Yes, I like the controllers better than Carrera. The plunger controller, I'm not a fan of. I wish they could change it to a pistol grip. I think all slot cars should be a pistol grip unless you want something else. That's my opinion. But it is very small. Again, we've got to slot it, but and that's a different guide. This is not a Carrera car, it's just a Carrera shell. But as you can see, I'm going to struggle to fit anything bigger than 132. And this is a corner without really having some, what can I say, borders on it, some extensions. Another thing I do find is you're very limited. Well, not really limited, but you might have to change, with Carrera you do, you might have to change your guide because of the guide slot itself. As you can see, it is puny. A lot smaller than Carrera. The texture, I don't mind the texture. And as you hear, the birds are fighting. I don't mind the texture. My purposes for the Scalatric track, I would love to make a rally track out of it. It's nice and tight. You can make really good bends out of it. I find my older cars, for some reason, run better on this track, as in the connectivity. I find Carrera, with the spacing of the lanes, the rails, sometimes the older braid doesn't touch it completely. I have to play with it, fan them out, squish them down, whatever I have to do. But I find this works really well. Texture on this is good. Can get a shine on it, which you can see this is already shining up. So you may get some slipperiness, but it will rub up as well. But let's get rid of Scalatric. That has its purpose. If you do want to build a smaller track, that's the way to go. Scale Auto then comes into the game. Very, very similar. Very, very similar to Carrera. But what they do have on them is their beautiful texture. That is an incredible texture. Let's put them pretty much similar corners. Let's look at the rail. Very much the same rail distance. Well, that's exactly the same. Both using stainless steel, so you're not going to have any issues with rust. Texture is where they've got them. The texture is, it's a Ninko S. It's not Ninko. Deep slot. And so Polycar has a deep slot and lined. What do you mean by lined? Pro drivers can run 124 on Polycar. Yeah, the Polycar, the Polycar is bigger than Scalatric. So the smallest, to my knowledge, is Scalatric. That's the smallest when it comes to there. The Polycar, I think many tracks are being built now. Like I said before, I want to get some so I can test it properly. But what I tested in America and had a look at, it's obviously smaller than these two. And go check out DNA's channel, because they did a proper review of all track that was there. As in, they put it side by side and had a chat with, I can't remember who they had a chat with. So, but this is just my thoughts. So yes, no, Polycar, please buy it. It looks good. But this, and now Scale Auto hasn't sent me this track. So they haven't sent me this for me to say anything nice about it. This track did not come from Scale Auto. This track was donated to me to borrow from Showisha Slots. This is his track. He's purchased this for his shop, didn't install it, and said, Trav, do you want to set up in the shed? And it's on loan. I don't own this track. I do have to build the tables and put some money into it, but this is not my track. So I'm not saying nice words because the company sent it. I'm saying nice words because I love this texture. I think it's good, and it suits my shed. How available is it? I don't know. Can we get it in Australia? I think you can order it in any country, but I don't know if we can order it that way yet. I'll look into that. So I'm very excited, and I did say that. I wanted to show you the difference in the three tracks that I have. There is other tracks you can get. AGM still make a track. Of course, we've got Ninko, we've got SEX track, SEX Advanced track as well. I haven't got that to test, but these are the stuff that I have on hand. But just by looking at it, you can see the difference in sizes. Even though the radiuses aren't the same, there is a difference in size of track. And Scalatric is by far the smallest. The only issue I have with Scalatric is because I do run a lot of Carrera cars. I do like their cars, as I do like Scalatric. You do have to change the guide, which you get in the box. That is it. That is all. How is the Scale Auto? How is the Scale Auto? Is it thin like Carrera and light and bend easy? Polycar is thick and strong and braced much better. Without putting it down, as in putting it down on a track, not giving it a bad name, I don't know. I haven't had any issue with Carrera. Yes, there is a lot of flex in Carrera. Carrera is thin. I think it's 8.5 mil from memory, 8.5. Looks like the scale auto might be very similar. If I'm doing a rigidity test, this feels a little bit stronger. It actually does. I don't know if it's going to break though. That does feel a little bit more on the stiff side, where your Carrera, you do have a lot of flex. But I guess that's because of how the rail is designed too. You can see those slight gaps beside the rail. They actually can separate from that. So if you push hard enough, you'll be able to get the rail out. It is clipped in underneath, but that is a design of Carrera. There is a gap beside the rail, so that's why you get flex here, you get flex here, you get flex here and here, because there's two bending points. Where if I look at the gap between rail is a lot smaller on the scale auto, a lot smaller, but it does feel like it wants to break if I go too hard. So that is stiffer. Scaletric is more of your, like a rubber compound, very flexible, I mean, as you can see, which isn't a bad thing because you can actually make some really good arcs with this, but it's very flexible. I do find with the Scaletric though, I do have to push down in some spots on the track to make sure it connects. But if you are building any big track, power taps, you have to. Even with my Carrera stuff, you have to put a power tap in. So there you go. Let's finish on that. I will do a video and show the world what I think on these three brands. I don't have the other brands. We do have some other stuff I want to test. Let me quickly show you, which I got when I was overseas, and unfortunately I didn't have the space or time to do it. There is another brand, which I don't think is available still. It might be, is the Polysteel. That is the Gran Turismo brand. I want to test that track as well because I haven't tested that yet. And of course, we've got, if you want to go old school, you've got Arton, really cool 143 track. What else do we have? We've got Micro, but there's a lot of junk here that I've got to clean up. I've got to do a lot of reviews on the old SCX Matchbox track. There's a lot of stuff. Ninko, I'm a massive fan of Ninko, but again, we have to do some work in here to get it to a spot where I can start reviewing it. So, thank you, legends. I think I'll end on that. I have some 124 scale. Revell, I would love Revell track. I forgot about Revell. Actually, I should say something before I go off. I almost, and I was bidding on it when I was in Austria, I almost bought the old 3-lane Scaletric track, which is 124 width, and it's 3 lanes. A seller on Gumtree was selling a whole set, and unfortunately, I forgot to bid on it. So if you can get the 3-laner, if you do have a 3-laner, let me know. That's cool stuff. I can get you plenty of sheet timber when you need. For $0, I need it today. I actually need it for this. I need it for this, but we will need it for this. Really, 21 by, I can get you plenty of sheet timber if you need it. Done, mate, I'll call you after this. That will help a lot. Yes. All right, legends, thank you very much. This week, I think tomorrow I might try and go to Outlaw Slots. I will be taking some Pioneers for some testing on some big tracks. I'll take the Scale Auto. I'm going to take a Thunder Slot as well. I haven't had a chance to hit the track with it. I did come back from racing on the weekend. I think I brought the Thunder Slot back. It's in there somewhere. Oh, there it is there. We'll take a couple of Thunder Slots. Oh, you're looking at me. What am I doing? We've got a couple of Thunder Slots that I'll take to a wood-routed track. Love those tyres out of the box. And this is on hold. I did say that. We are holding this for now. I don't want to put any money into the wood yet until I know if this is staying here because of that. All right, legends, as always, at That Soccer Guide, Instagram and YouTube. Thank you to the new member, mate. Appreciate that. Welcome to the That Soccer Guide family. Your support is appreciated. But I'm going to keep doing some painting. Cheers, legends. Thanks for your support. Bye. How do I turn this thing off? Is it there? It's there. Bye, guys.